is Heen with Friends Already, protecting families by protecting PAC. And today, the day has come. Version 2.0 of the FOI Autotuner. It now has the ability to tune coins 24/7 throughout the day. So I'm going to give you a little run through a training on how it is set up and what you need to do to get it running. Okay. So let's switch right over here. So this is it right here. I should probably put a version number somewhere, but I'll probably add that later. But anyways, you want to load everything just as you normally would. If you had used this on our previous versions or you looked at our previous trainings, you want to make sure you load everything. And also, if you have already saved it, then you don't have to do this. But of course, for the first time, you got to make sure you kind of select what you want, kind of thing. Make sure you, I want 2 days, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. And I want FOI tuning instead of console tuning. Up to you guys. 6 steps, whatever, and all that stuff. Okay, so this is the same thing you want to do for all that. I've already saved everything, so I'm just gonna save that, and then just to check, just check, move to something else, load it. It should come back to what you want it to do. So it trades then ROI. Alright, so that's good. Let me double check a few more things on my side, make sure it's going where I need it to go. 2 days. And percentages. Now I'm gonna go over a little bit of strategy too. Since it's tuning 24/7, it's gonna get the latest back test, or at least it's gonna back test on the latest data. So if you can get this down to 1 day, that'd be awesome. I think it could work based on the settings that we've giving it. I might try that later on. But lately I've just been doing 2 days just so I could get some data and just kind of start testing, make things work. But eventually I'll probably bring down to 1 day. Okay. Monitor it, and then for now, the tuning is on 27 bot army, and you want to go down to tuning center. The trading 24/7 live trading is not done yet, so even though there's a disclaimer here to do it, I'm gonna add some stuff when I push updates, and I'll do another video there. But let's focus on the tuner. So once you're here, you want to load all your sim wallets. So it's gonna, you gotta make sure you, before you even load, you need to launch a browser. So you need to launch my browser here. And then once the browser is launched, then you can pull data. Without the browser launching, it's not gonna pull any data and it's not gonna work. Okay. So let me give it a few minutes here to launch its stuff. Okay, here it is. It's right here. And then I'm gonna log in real quick. Alright, let me just move this aside. And HAAS online thingy here. Alright, here you go. Logging in. Alright, so we're in. It's loading stuff. I have a video before this in the membership area on setting up the initial settings, the local APIs. Make sure you watch that too in order to get that going. And right now I'm just going to show you how this works. So what you want to do is go all the way custom bots and just kind of get something random loaded. Okay, it doesn't matter. It pulls data out of here in order to get the simulated wallets and your information of your wallets. So now we can go to live 24/7 bots. If you had this loaded before, then it would be able to load some other stuff too. Okay. So let me go ahead and wait for this to kind of load real quick. There it goes. Okay, cool. So now let me maximize this. Every time you kind of open it, it kind of gets freaked out and it takes a little time to load. So I just kind of give it some time to load the tabs and then the buttons too. So now I can load the wallets. So these will pull out a list of simulated wallets in your Mad Hatter settings. Okay. You can also save it. You click here. Sometimes either one. This is also kind of loading anywhere else. So if this doesn't work, load here too. It'll pull it'll pull out somewhere here and here, and we'll all save. Okay. So if you have multiple simulator wallets from like Binance and Kraken and whatever else, you can then load all those and add it here. I wouldn't load too many and just kind of start with one at a time, because you do have the ability to create trade bots, simulated trade bots for different server exchanges or trade exchanges. So if you want some from Binance, from Kraken, and test those, you can. Okay, but it just loads it up more. Once you hit about 90 bots, it starts to slow down. You start to hit API rate limits. So once you're here, you kind of select the one you want, and then you load the base coin. Give it a few minutes to load, maybe a few seconds. Don't freak out when it doesn't load. Just kind of wait a little bit, and there it is. And then you can add BTC to your base coin. Right now, I'm only doing BTC. You can do both base coins, and it'll load up a bunch of other coins that are in this list. If you did that, you would then be able to load up more coin pairs, and it'll give you the total amount. So if I did BTC only, I think there's only 125. If I load BNB and BTC coin pairs, it comes up to 183 that you can pick from. Okay. So that's kind of a little handy thing that I kind of noticed, so I went ahead and added it. And then you can kind of type in what you want, what kind of coins, like, let me see. Click this real quick. I don't know why it's kind of freezing up here. This is something new, but let me. Maybe it might be you don't want to load too many. This is kind of what happens when it loads up too much. So let me just clear this out, or if I can, let me try it again. All right, let me see. Neo. There you go. And then I could go BNB and select BNB. And I could add that to my list. Once you hit add, you can add it to your list. And then this is a list of all the coins I've added that I'm going to be tuning. So I have a total here of what I've selected. I'm not going to add BNB because I don't want to add BNB. And then once you have all of this, if you don't want to have to select it all over again, make sure you hit the save settings so that it saves these right here. And then the live trade account. So what this does is it pulls out all the live wallets. And let's say I want to calculate my trade amount right here based on the wallet size. So I want to do 1% of, let's say, Muhana's balance. Then it'll actually calculate the trade amount and put that into there. Okay. I think I've kind of fixed it to 1 right now, and I'll push an update later on that'll actually do this. So this isn't actually there yet. The maximum amount of days, I put half a day, which means in 12 hours, if it hasn't traded or it held the bag for more than 12 hours, then it's just going to do a retune. Okay. And this here is, since when we backtest, it usually kind of backtests and shows you the trades in the backtest, like on 5-minute intervals. So let's see if I can maybe show you one here. Active, something here. So if you notice here is that 20, 25, 30, 35, they're in 5-minute intervals. So I figured, hey, if it's tuning on the 5-minute interval, could there be a possibility that if we launch it on a 5-minute interval, it's kind of tuned to that time frame? Will it also perform better at a 5-minute interval? So if you do this, it's gonna wait, and it's gonna take a little more time to tune all your coins, because it's gonna wait and then launch every 5 minutes and then work on the next one. So that's what that does. Now, talking to other people, they say this may or may not matter. It may not even make a difference. So I've already created it because I was like, oh, maybe it did. So I created it, and then all of a sudden I was told it might not make a difference at all. So I was like, all right, forget it. I'll just leave it in there for now for those of you guys who want to try it out. You can click that, and then you can then start it. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Moving on. And this definitely, if you have multiple monitors, it works better. So I have to keep shrinking and expanding it and freezing the UI here. All right, so going down here, it's gonna calculate 1% of this this wallet, and then we also need to enter the local API and port number. Okay, So make sure the port number is different from your actual trade server port number. So normally it's like 8090, I put 8060, you can use the same. And then this is to set up the template. Okay, so as you're setting this template up over here, you know, some people likes to, you like to, keep that or whatever. I would normally just do this because I want it to trade more frequently, and so I'll just check that one reset middle. Sometimes you might even want to not use it, depending. I'll let you guys, based on your understanding of how these things works, to kind of set them up accordingly. Okay, and then the template pretty much zeroes out all these safeties, and currently sets it at 1 until I fix this part. So this should be 1 when it sets it up, and then it should save it. So okay, and this should have gone to a simulated wallet, which I was messing with it earlier. Okay, so select that as your simulated wallet and create all the forward testing bots based on the simulated Binance account. Okay, and then once you have all that in, make sure you also save the settings so that when you load it up again, you won't have to set this all up. It'll all already be there. And so when you come, if it crashes or whatever, you load it up, just hit, the load settings and then hit 24/7 tuning, and you'll be good to go. Now, if you need to stop the 24/7 tuning, you can click here. If there's something in the middle that is messed up, I'll probably just stop 24 and just check both of these in order to get out of the loop. Wait till it completely cycles, and then it should stop. You see, nothing moving on there, and it should be good. Now, I don't have any alerts on there, whether it's stopped or not, or whether you think it's done, because it's always going to be running 24/7 as long as these check boxes are open and you're seeing the tuner doing things. It'll always run. Now, it may have a point where it's not doing anything because it's tuned all the coins, and it's just waiting and scanning the entire time, waiting for it to meet conditions that are making it tune. So it'll only tune when the ROI is negative, or retune when ROI is negative. If the trades per the ROI per trades are negative. So let me explain how that works. Yeah, I think I need to kill some Chrome. I think my Chrome's hogging up my memory here. So let me knock that out, and I should probably have some better resources here. I think that's been slowing things down. So let me close that. Okay, I think that's much better. Whew. Yeah, I need more memory. Chrome really is a memory hog. Alright, so that is it. Let's see what else. Couple other things here. Oh, bot tuning management. So once you have all your bots, and let's say you want to make a change to it, right? So you've already added your coins. You have 30 coins in here, and then you're like, you know what? I want to add one more. If you want to add more and more, you can just click on here, add to it, and then hit save. It'll notice that there's a new one, and it'll create a new bot for it. But let's say if you want to delete it, well, in order to delete it, you have to go to this bot tuning management. You want to delete one of them out of that list. Okay, so let me switch over there to that one and wait for it to go. Let me close some more windows over my side that's hogging up resources. Let's see what else. Close here, close that. Free up some more memory. Alright, so here's some. Let me look at a few that has maybe some more data in it. Alright, here. Alright, so let's say Sim Storm, right? It's been forward testing. We're just going to look at the trades. So if the trades are positive and increasing, like here, it went from 19 and went up, I believe. I don't know, that's increasing. If it's increasing, it'll detect that, and but it only detects from the last two. Okay, so any of these two complete trades, if these two here looks like there's more zeros or less zeros, what is it? I can't really see. It looks like there's less zeros. So if it's notice that this is decreasing, then it'll just stop and retune. So once I fix this trade amount here, it'll probably have something a little more substantial, more numbers to compare, and that's what it'll do. If it's on the last trade here, so right now it's like 6 o'clock on May 14th. So it did this at 6 in the morning, and if it's been, I put 12 hours, so in 12 hours plus this, which is half a day, so on 1800 hours, if it still hasn't improved or it's held the bag for that long, it'll then also retune it. Okay. Anything that's negative ROI, that once it launches, if it hits anything negative ROI, it'll retune. Also, does this timestamp. If it's been not trading for half a day or whatever it is, I put, then it'll also retune these two that aren't active. Okay. Let's see. And that's pretty much it for that. Now, if there's any other things that you want to do with any rules that you want to add, let me know. But right now, it's kind of just in the background, black box. You're kind of forced to use my strategy. All right, so here's where you would kind of load all the current coins that you have in the that you selected, and then you can go in here. It'll populate. There will be checkboxes where you can check them on what you wanted to remove. So you just kind of delete them, and then you gotta save the coin tuning pairs, and it should save it all together. But I'll just make sure you hit these two buttons here, load and save and load again, and then load it back up. Just make sure that it's that it has been removed, and if it has, then you're good to go. Okay, and you don't need to stop them while you're doing this. It will just be there. It just won't touch them anymore. But you do have to manually remove the coins or the bot from your HAAS server, because it doesn't go in and delete it. Okay. Sometimes when it's tuning and cloning, it takes a little bit of time for it to create a bot. So it has a timeout. So if it hasn't created a bot in like a minute, or it waits for it and it hasn't created because maybe there's some kind of lag, you have too many bots, it'll actually re-clone it again just to make sure it's there, so that it kind of refreshes, and then it'll kind of keep progressing on. So it kind of does a check. If it's not there in a minute, it'll clone again, but then all of a sudden, like 2 minutes later, it appears. So now you have duplicates, right? So there's a bulk management part here where you can actually hold on a second. All right, that was my virus. Oh yeah, and it wasn't my virus scanner. Also, you're gonna get a lot of virus alerts. It's gonna have some false whatever. You're gonna have to disable your virus scanner when you're installing this. I'm even getting some virus scanning stuff right now, just compiling it, and then it disappears. So it's kind of this heuristic. It's called a whatever, I don't know if you care about it. I'll show you when it loads up. Alright, so anyways, I'll move on. Hopefully it's still loading here. Alright, yeah, you'll get this alert. It's called a HUR ADV, whatever they identify it as the virus or whatever. But just disable it, disable your virus scanner, and just let it go. This is probably what it's gonna hit at. So just so you know, I don't even know what that is, but it's probably something that it doesn't allow you to control browsers or whatever. Alright, so once here, I'm going to try to load it. It looks like my buttons aren't really working well right now. Alright, so here's the bulk management, right? So if you get to have like duplicates, there's you can start bots, and you can start all the bots, or you can like stop all the bots, or you can delete all the bots, or you can just delete only all the duplicates. So you click on this, there should be a drop down, and you're able to select these options. If there's any other filters that you need, let me know, and I can create them for you guys, and let you guys do it. I had a little thing where you could kind of select certain bots and kind of delete 1 or 2 of them, whatever. But I had some issues with the table, so I took them off. But now the table's working, I could probably put the tables back in. But I'm like, do you guys really need it, or you could just go in and delete 1 or 2 from yourself from inside the HAAS thingy. and then you know, leave all the bulk stuff to this to do. So okay. All right, so I think my virus scanner is definitely attacking this thing right here, so I think that's why it's like getting all jacked up. But it should be running fine. I had it running on the VPS without a virus scanner, and it seems to be running great. So here's some of the drop-down menus you can see: stop, start, stop, delete, and delete all duplicate pods. And when it says all, it pretty much doesn't matter what you put here; it's gonna delete all the duplicate pods. If you want to, let's say you start stopping, you know, you start it to delete or start some bots, and you're like, oh, you know, I need it to stop. You can break the loop, and it'll stop that deleting or stopping of bots. Okay, and then there's some filters here where it can filter by. You can start all the BNB pairs or BTC pairs, all the Ether pairs. What else do I have in there? You can see it. Alright, sorry guys, I went ahead and just moved it to my VPS server since it's a lot more memory and doesn't have any virus scanners scanning things, so you can definitely navigate a lot faster now. Alright, so let me just go ahead and I'm gonna have to reload this again. So I'm just gonna talk about, as this is running, let's see, the bot, and no, I don't want to talk about that. Let's see. The complete trade monitoring. Now this one is not working yet because you can't activate more than one FOI tuner on the same machine with the license server that we have. So I kind of talked to them, can you guys launch it twice? Can you guys make copies of it on the same thing? Because they're like, no, you can only do one instance of the FOI tuner. Alright, so that means what I originally had planned to have you guys kind of run 3 different copies of it on the same computer doesn't work. So I need to go back and do multi-threading. And it's not set up to do multi-threading right now, but what it'll do, once you click on this, it'll launch a separate browser window just like this here. It'll save the cookie that you already have, and then once it saves the cookie, you don't have to enter the password anymore. It can just relaunch a new browser instance, but with a new browser instance, but then it'll still be able to work on a different browser, monitoring the trades, so that you can, if there's any partial orders, it'll take care of that thing. Okay. All right, let me just log in real quick. All right, cool. So I'm in, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of interact with the this stuff. Just kind of load things up. You can just load it here, and make sure everything's good. Go to my bot army. Go to bulk management. You'll be able to see the settings here, so it'll load all the simulation bots, all the best sims. If you want to start them, stop them, whatever, and then all pairs. Now, let's say you had created some custom bot names before you had the FOI tuner, and so if you want to just transition all to this and just delete all your old custom bot names or custom bots, just click on that and hit the delete. It'll delete all bots that don't follow the naming convention that I give it here. Yeah, the sim, Mad Hatter, and then the coin pair, and then your exchange. So if it doesn't follow this format, it gets deleted. So if you want to do that, you can. Okay. Oh, another thing. Oh, it's not here. I'll update it later on this VPS. But let me show you the tuning pair so we can load it here. And so you can load, and then you can kind of delete whatever you want to delete. But once you delete it, it kind of deletes off here, but you need to save the tuning coin pairs and then load it back out to make sure it's gone. And if it's still there, you make sure you save it here, save it there, and then load it there, and then load it back over here. It's kind of finicky. Sometimes it works, sometimes, but I think you just need to do these 2. But if it doesn't, you got to reinforce it with these 2 buttons here. And there you go. So once you load it and you can confirm that it's not showing up, you can then know that it's gone. And you could also delete it here too. Okay. And maybe later on we could probably do some other stuff like update trade amounts, whatever kind of thing. Okay. Let's see. Bot trading, that's for later, and we already talked about this. I want to see if this is here real quick. Okay. Now, once you forward test and you have confirmed that it's working well, I need to show you the bot trading part. I've added this little tab, but this is the old updated version. So let me just close the browsers that are here. Maybe it's hogging up the memory, and then I can show you that once it frees up the memory. Alright, so I went ahead and just reloaded it. It was just slowing it down. So let me go over to here. On the live trading part, you know when this is not working yet, but as you're tuning it and you see bots that are doing well, right? And showing you positive forward tests. So now you want to clone it and then, type in a trade amount. So this here works for now, but this button doesn't work. But what you can do is kind of put in your percentage on your live test, like how much of your portfolio. Make sure you load up your wallet. It's gonna load up your live wallet. So once you hit load, it'll load up your live wallets, and then you can also save it, so you don't have to keep on selecting it here. You just kind of load, it'll pop up, and then it'll select the one that you're focusing on. So let's say I select that one, 1% on the live test, 8% of the confirmed live, which is 80% of your portfolio. And what it does is then it goes into your, let's see here, let me go to my remote desktop. It'll go over here, look at your wallet, and say Muhana has like maybe $1,500, right? Or 0.4 BTC. It's gonna grab that full amount and calculate 1% of that, and then tell you what the trade amount is for that coin. And so it'll say you want to know what Cardano is in BTC. If you click calculate, it'll tell you here the test live trade amount, which is 1%. It'll tell you how much to put in on your clone bot, and then once you confirm that that's profitable, then you can then enter the 80% of your portfolio here, and then trade on another clone bot with 80% of your portfolio, and then just type that in. Okay. So once, so this is for you, because I was like doing it manually. I was like, dude, I need a spreadsheet and this calculator. I can pull data. So it pulls live market data basically with the local API. So in order to get to this point, you need to make sure that you have this set up over here, so they kind of build on top of each other. Okay, because if you can't tune, you're not going to meet this bot trading calculator. So make sure that's there. Okay, then you kind of quickly do that. Then so basically later on, once this 24 trading is done, I'm gonna leverage off this calculation already, and then just kind of do that automatically for you, monitor it automatically for you instead of having you do it manually, kind of thing. Okay. All right. What else? Okay, you know how to delete the bots, tuning, thing done. Partially feel I told you that this is not working yet until I do multi-threading. I'll announce it in Telegram group as soon as I get the multi-threading part done. But if you ran this by itself without the tuning, it'll work. Okay, it's just that you can't tune and then do this at the same time. It'll step over each other's toes, I think. But you can try it. I think if you just start it, it'll just kind of monitor on the same browser as the tuning browser. But then if notifications happen and then it's trying to change the trade amount while this guy is trying to tune at the same time and change settings, it's going to get all mumbo jumbo, then it's probably not going to work. That's why we need to separate the browsers and multi-thread it. Okay, so it'll run, but it's just not by itself, Okay, and then R&D, this is for Cosmo. If you want to do screenshots, whatever, load the pair. Now, if you had built that list, you could save it also, and then you kind of load it back here. You want to delete one or two things, and then make sure you save it back here, and make sure you save here. Kind of just double save, double load kind of thing. Make sure it's good to go. The chart info, you have to make sure you type in the proper, it's case sensitive. So if the bot analyzer says 1 hour charts, you have to type in, one lowercase. You need to make one lowercase, and if it's 2 hours, you gotta make sure it's exactly that 2 hours. All right, you put this, it won't work because that's not the way that's not what it's looking for. It's looking for the exact thing on the bot analyzer chart. Okay, and of course I didn't want to put a list of drop down because I was being lazy. I just figured just let you guys type it in. And I think that's all I have. And then we have Cosmo contributed to the tuning solution here, so that's his thing. So I give him credit here. You can visit his Discord if you want more information about it, and you know, you want more in-depth understanding, but you know, that's where you go. For this is my Wolfpack group which you join. Later on, I'll probably have affiliate groups for you guys to be a part of, and you can share this and be able to earn some commissions too. Okay, so that's it for this training, and then I'm gonna do another video later on how the pricing is gonna be set up for early bird adopters, and I'll do that on another video. So hopefully that's helped you understand how this works. It's pretty much hands off. I try to kind of make it so that it's very simple and you just hit a button and you're done. Don't have to understand too much, because then you have too many buttons, too many things to do. It kind of confuses a lot of people, confuses me, and you know, hopefully I don't want to be like, you know, now you need another bot to control another bot, you know, kind of thing, like what I'm doing right now. You might have too many buttons. So it's all in the background. Just kind of trust that it works. I know that some of you guys want to understand how it works, and I'll do my best to explain it through some of the videos I'm doing right now, like how I kind of go by step what it does, and how it, you know, decides and how it thinks. You check some of those videos in my membership group on how that's explained. But this is just primarily how to use it and how to get started and how to get kicked off on it, and stuff. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you, and have a good one.